Hey guys, Brad from RotoHeat back at it with another 2020 player outlook. This time we're talking Devin Singletary, running back, Buffalo Bills. Don't forget, if you've been enjoying all this amazingly free content you're getting from the RotoHeat.com team here on YouTube, subscribe, like, hit that notification icon so you can stay up to date. I don't know if you've noticed, we got live streams. We've got player outlooks. We've got all sorts of goodies right here for you. So why don't you do it? You know you want to.
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire.
All right, so on to the reason you clicked on this video. Devin Singletary finished really well last year. You know, he finished at about 5.1 yards a carry. You know, he had 150 touches. I don't know if y'all noticed, Frank Gore is not in Buffalo anymore, so that frees up another 180 touches. Obviously, they drafted Zach Moss. Now, if you followed RotoHeat for any length of time, the team is kind of split on him. Some think he's too slow to really provide much value. Some like his value. So that will have to play itself out to see which side of the team is accurate on Zach Moss. But nonetheless, it really bodes well for Devin Singletary. You know, he's probably going to get closer to the 200 touch range because he can handle it. You know, he showed us last year that he handled 150 just fine. You know, if he can get around 200 touches and probably 40-ish receptions, that's going to provide really nice kind of high-end RB2, maybe even potentially back-end RB1 type value. And at the price point you're getting him at, it's easy to say yes to that. You know, he's one of those guys that people seem to kind of be all over the place on. You know, when you look at the fantasy football community, some people love him, some people are indifferent. I haven't seen a lot of hate for him, but just, you know, it's kind of a love him or meh, it doesn't matter. But I think in that offense, they're going to be run first. They've got a strong defense, so they're going to be playing ball control. They're going to be trying to control the clock, and I think that bodes well for your fantasy roster because he's going to get a lot of action. And Josh Allen seemed to like him and seemed to trust him, and that's going to bode well as they continue to develop that relationship. You know, from a redraft perspective, I have no problem taking him even just slightly above kind of where he's sitting at in his ADP. And if you don't know where to draft him at, go over to RotoHeat. Our boy Sully's been doing all sorts of great redraft content. He's got Sully's 2 Cents podcast has been talking redraft as well, so you'll be getting some conversations there to help you out as you plan for redraft season. From a dynasty perspective, he's easily worth kind of a back-end first-round pick. I actually made a deal involving him and getting him for carry on and a pick, you know, and I felt comfortable doing that. There's a lot of great ways to get Singletary because people aren't nearly as high on him, you know, so you might be able to get him for maybe a couple seconds or something in that realm, depending on your league makeup. Obviously, some people are going to look at me and say that's crazy, but he's a player that I would target, and I have targeted, and in any place where I can get him, I'm picking him up. That being said, you know, in 2020, we know his baseline. You know, last year what we saw out of him, and I would slightly increase that because obviously they started pulling him in a little bit later into the season. He didn't really get a ton of work, and they started getting him comfortable and really started to let him go as the season went on. So baseline is slightly above kind of where he's at, but I would expect him to be high-end RB2, potentially back-end RB1, depending on how the season goes. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Singletary. Keep that conversation going on all the social media platforms we're on. We're over on Instagram, we're on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, you name it, we're there. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think about Singletary, and if you need any help with your fantasy trades or fantasy roster makeup, the RotoHeat.com team's got your back.
Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.